Sweethearts or Rivals, podcast number 8.
Number 8!
I'm Charla.
I'm Justin.
And today we're going to be doing it on video as well as for iTunes.
Yeah.
We have the technology.
We can do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's see here. What are we talking about?
Today we're going to be talking about our recent experience at the Boardroom Game Cafe in a game auction.
Yes, we didn't know quite what to expect.
I had very clear expectations, which were wrong.
Really? What were your expectations that were wrong?
I think one of the things that I was really expecting out of the auction, first of all, it was a silent auction that you went to. People could drop off their games over the course of a week. Mm-hmm. There was a certain deadline. After that, no more games could be dropped off. And then when you walked in on the day of the auction, all the games were set up with little silent auction bidding sheets. Mm-hmm. So you walked around with a little paddle with your number on it, and you go up to a sheet and you put your name and your number and your bid. And then every now and then you'd have to wander back to see if you had been outbid, and then had to outbid others. And there wasn't any like, you need to raise the bid by a certain amount.
No.
It was just, I'm just gonna outbid you by $1. And that made me mad.
Did it?
Yes. Just the audacity that somebody would try to like snag a game out from under me for like a $1.
Audacity seems pretty harsh.
No.
Okay.
I mean, there were some games that have, like, if somebody had just gone, you know what, I'm gonna bid them up $3 or $4, I'd be like, all right, well that's a legitimate bid. All right, I'll let them have that. But yeah. I think there was one of the games that we ended up winning that I was like, I could win this or I could not win it, and I won it because someone tried to outbid me for a single $1.
And did you outbid them $1?
No, I outbid them by like $3.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I see.
Because that was a good bid.
I see.
That showed them that I really did want the game.
You're serious.
Yeah, not just, I just want to outbid you by $1. Mm-hmm. So that was one thing that was really weird for me.
Okay. Yeah. So that was something different than your expectations.
Yeah.
I thought pretty much that's how silent auctions worked.
Yeah.
So I was not, surprised by that.
No?
No?
I was surprised by my reaction to it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Like, I imagine there would be, I guess if it had been like a really small game.
Mm-hmm.
A small game, it's like, here's a $5 game, I'm going to outbid you by $1. It's now $6. Do I really want that? That would make sense, but these like really big games.
It's true. Yeah.
That if you bought them brand new would cost you like $60, $70. And someone's like, well, I'm just going to outbid you by $1. It's like, how much do you really want that game if you're only willing to bid up $1?
I guess that's one thing that did surprise me, because I thought more along the lines of, I'm going to bring some big ticket items there to actually get kind of what we were looking to get for them.
Yeah. Because
I was thinking, well, there's a big group of gamers coming, and if they see this game that's really hard to get, they'll be willing to pay the money for it. But that wasn't the case. Like, it was kind of like a bargain shopping.
Yeah.
Like, people were treating it more like, I can get that $100 game for $40, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And that was my big expectation that also wasn't true either. The way I was looking at it was, like you were saying, like, I expected a bunch of people to come in knowing the value of some of these games, and then recognizing that, hey, this game, if I wanted to buy it, would be $120. Hey, I can get it for a steal. I can save $20 and get it for $100. No, they didn't want that at all. It was like what was it, a $700
group of X-Wing miniatures and all the stuff that goes with it.
Yeah, $700 worth. Did it go for anywhere near $700?
I think it went for $3.
Yeah, that's insane.
That blew my socks off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would be really upset if that happened, but if I had $700 worth of X-Wing miniatures, I would not put the minimum bid anywhere.
I don't even know what they started it at. It was probably, I think it was like $50.
That's just crazy.
Like, no, if you've got a $700 group of X-Wing minis, you should start the bid at $300.
Yeah.
Like,
at least.
I don't know. I think I have a different expectation, though, of what games are worth and what used games are worth than other people.
I don't know.
Because, to me, I don't know. To explain it, to me, games are like a currency of their own.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I don't overplay my games. I don't play my games hard, and I take really good care of my games. So in my opinion, my games are still worth close to their original value.
Yeah. Or more if they are extremely hard to get games.
Yeah, or rare or out of print.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't think a lot of people see it that way.
No. And I think a little bit of that was we would go around and we would see games that they weren't really like, ooh, we need to buy that game.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, well, that's interesting. I've always wondered about that game, and hey, it's only $5, so I might as well bid for it.
Yeah, and see what happens.
Yeah, I think that's what it became.
That's what it became for us, because I don't think there was any specific game there that was a grail game for us.
Yeah, exactly.
That we were willing to like stick our paddle up for, like, you know.
Yeah, for the actual value of the game.
Yeah, the last paddle standing. Yeah.
So I think we expected a whole lot more people to be there that were like us in that expectation, and there wasn't. There was just a lot of people who wanted to get rid of some games, wanted to get a couple bucks out of it, and then wanted to buy some cheap games.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. And that's what it
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we expected something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was very interesting because I met a guy there who actually bought City of Iron from us. We'd arranged it ahead of time, so it was outside of the auction. And when I met that guy, we started talking about games, and he had recently picked up The Gallerist. He had Signore, Porta Nigra on its way. He had My Village, so he was like up and up on like the newest games, the newest hotness, the stuff that we were very interested in. And he went around the floor and then came back, and we were talking, and he bid on nothing because none of the games there were games he was very interested in. And if there had have been a game he would have been interested in, I think he would have bid like close to its value.
Probably to get the game that he wanted for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that was like the one person I met who had a very similar expectation as us, and he didn't bid on anything.
Yeah. And there were hundreds of games there.
There was a lot.
The Boardroom Game Cafe in Halifax has their main room, and then there's an area that people play games in on the way to another smaller main room.
Yeah.
And every single table in that entire floor space was covered in games.
Yep. Which
was really impressive, actually.
It was impressive. It was also a little disappointing because we were hoping to actually play some games.
Oh, yeah.
And
while we were waiting.
The auction took up so much space and so much time, we didn't get a chance to play any games.
Yeah.
That was a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That being said, we did come back with, we got rid of a bunch of our games.
We did.
Yeah, we didn't get the value for them, but that's okay. At least I felt it was okay because we picked up a bunch of games that I'm looking forward to playing for really good prices.
We did. So they kind of traded off a little bit.
Yeah. So even though it wasn't my expectation, I immediately altered my strategy to take full tactical advantage of one of the available options.
Yes. Yeah.
And won.
Had some agonizingly awesome decisions to make.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
So the games that we brought to trade, I'll just list them off here. We brought Carcassonne the Castle.
Yep.
And then the Samurai Sword.
Bundle, like
it had that expansion. We bundled that one all together as one.
Yep.
We brought Doomtown.
Yeah.
We brought Artifacts Inc. We brought Quantum.
Yep.
And then you got rid of some D&D books. I can't remember what edition they were.
The newest edition, 5th edition. I picked up.
There it was the
Adventure.
The campaign.
Yeah. I don't know. Every time I tried to run it. I don't know. I found I could make up stuff on my own better.
Yeah, and what was it? The Dragon something, right?
Yeah. Tyranny of Dragons.
Yeah.
The
and
two
there
books.
Were 2 books.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we had in the silent auction. And
they all went.
Yep.
Which was awesome.
And we got to bring home Among the Stars and an expansion.
And I think some promos.
Oh, awesome.
I know. There's some extra stuff in there. I'm trying to figure out where it's from because it wasn't listed. But yeah.
And then we got to bring home Epic Resort.
Awesome.
Which I think is the Kickstarter edition.
I believe so.
and Gates of Yuleng,
Nice.
and Santiago de Cuba.
Cool.
Which they were all games that we kind of looked into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked interesting. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind picking it up for a really good price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we also took part in the live auction.
That was interesting.
And in the live auction, we picked up Parfum
Yeah.
by Queen Games, which is the newest one, I think, on the list.
It was kind of funny because they were doing the live auction and they were doing a really good job of like talking up the game and, oh, this game's awesome. It comes with this and this is how much it's worth if you're to buy it in the store. And here's the opening bid. Let's go. And then the auction would go on. It was very exciting, and people's paddles are going up and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, how they did the live was really cool because they're like, if you're interested in it, everyone who's interested, hold your paddle. And I'm going to start saying numbers. I'm going to increase the bid. And when I get to a number you don't like, stick your paddle down.
Yeah.
So it's last paddle standing.
Yeah, that was good because it made it a lot quicker. Because it was already, like, the auction took a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that made it go super quick, which actually kept the tension, nice and steady, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Parfum was hilarious because he took Parfum out and he's looking at it, and this is a Queen's game called Parfum, and it's about, I have no idea, and he flips it over, and then he read the back, and he's like, yeah, sounds riveting. And everyone started chuckling because nobody really had a lot of interest in it.
And I think I was the only one there that was like, I want to try that game. Even Justin doesn't want to try the game. But I was like, I want to try that game.
So then the opening bid was $30.
Or was it 40?
30 or 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of funny that it was.
And I was thinking, I know it's probably a $50 or $60 game.
Yeah.
But I don't want to try it that bit for 30 or 40. So I kept my paddle down.
Nobody raised their paddle.
Yeah.
And the person who was selling it was there, and so the auctioneers, they just kind of looked at it and said, did you want to start at a lower bidding? And she's like, yeah, $10.
And a whole bunch of people put their paddles up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, this one's mine.
And what did we get it for? 28?
It's something like that.
Yeah.
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 And I say like a $30. We pretty much paid $30 for it.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I was
Yeah,
the
it was
last.
funny.
It was funny. It came down to two of us, and I could see them out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, I know that I can keep my paddle up for longer than they can, because no one in the room seemed to know anything about the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got to bring it home, so that was kind of exciting.
It's interesting. I think there was one or two other things that I bid on just because it was so incredibly cheap. And I didn't have an interest in like owning it. I just had an interest of, if that goes for that much, I could use that in a math trade to get something better because that's such a value.
I suppose. It seems like a mean thing to do, though.
Kind of, but also at the same time, like, I didn't want it to go for that much. Like, that low.
That low, yeah.
That was just crazy.
I know. Some of the stuff went for really crazy prices.
Yeah, insane crazy prices.
Like flea market prices.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
So the flip side of that story is we had Zaya, our own copy of Zaya, in the auction to go as one of the big ticket items.
The Kickstarter edition. Yeah.
We wanted a minimum of $100.
We did. That was what we had said we wanted.
Yeah.
But they talked us down. We had to put it at 85.
So the opening bid was 85, and nobody bid on it. And so the auctioneers again kind of looked at us and said, nobody wants to. Did you want? Actually, I don't even think they did it to me. I think one of them just kind of looked at you real quick.
And I was like, I'm fine with it. I'm taking it home.
Yeah. So it was an example of how we weren't willing to drop our expectation for that game down to everything else. Like, yeah, just let it go for whatever it goes for.
Yeah, but some of our other games, we did.
Some of them are others, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's okay.
But that's okay because the ones that we got in replace of them, I think they were the same value.
Yeah. It almost became a bit of a math trade of sorts.
Of sorts, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I was glad that we didn't drop the price Zaya. I want Zaya to go to someone who's going to recognize the value and love that game.
And that really wants that game.
Yeah.
Like, I missed out on the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I want Zaya.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. The flip side of that, where it's not really like a math trade, is the winnings that we got not the winnings, but the money that we got from the sales of our games came as a gift card to the Boardroom Game Cafe, which is that's what they get out of all this. They arrange and organize the whole thing, and then all the money that people get goes right back into the store where they get to sell a bunch of the games, which I think is awesome.
Or for services. You can use it for whatever.
Yeah. So even though we sold a bunch of games and picked up a bunch of games and they were roughly the same amount of money, it's not really like a math trade because we had to then turn around and spend that money in the store for more games at full retail cost. Right. Which was, ouch. We're not used to that.
No, we usually buy online because where we live, we don't really have a local game store. Yeah. So, like the games we have asked them to get in, they can't, or whatever. Yeah. They don't have a huge selection, or whatever the reason is. So, our options here are limited. We have to buy online if we want games.
And we buy a lot of games, and so we need to save quite a bit of money on those games. And we do by buying online. So it just makes sense for us.
Yeah, the thing about it is, we have amount of money each month to buy games. That amount of money is not going to change. Yeah. So we have to be thrifty with that amount and spread it as far as we can. Yeah. And being Canadians too, with the prices going up because a lot of the games, might come from the States, so then there's an extra markup now because of our exchange. Our Canadian money is small, even though it's the same amount.
Seems like it's getting smaller.
A little bit smaller that we have to spend. Yep. Which, so we have to be thrifty because we buy all our games. We don't get any, what do they call them?
Review copies.
Yeah, we don't get those.
No.
So, Thrifty's our middle name. It's like Sweethearts and Thrifty Rivals.
Sure.
Yeah.
But we did manage to pick up 2 games for the amount of money that we got for our games.
Yes.
Which was cool.
Yep.
And the 2 games we got are?
Ashes.
Nice.
They're very, very beautiful. Yeah. The art's fantastic.
The art and the cards, they are amazing. Yeah. It is awesome to play with.
It's like a dueling card game.
Yep. And what's different about this one, and the reason why, it plays really awesome and I really enjoy the game.
Well, we've only played it one time.
True. But one of the reasons why I'm so interested in this over other card games is it's not really a collectible card game.
Not really, no.
No, you take your box, you open it up, and there are 6 decks.
You've got everything,
there. And it's not like an intro starter deck with 1 of each copy. It's got 3 of every card in it, just like a real dueling deck would be. So you can play with them. You don't have to deck build. You don't have to rip stuff apart and put it back together. All this stuff, you just open the box, choose your deck, and then play.
And also, if you like deck building, you can deck build with it too, right?
There's rules for deck building. There's rules for draft playing, which is really awesome if you're into that stuff. Me, not so much. I want to take my game off the shelf, open it up, pick a deck, open it up, shuffle it, and start playing. Yeah. And this lets you do that with lots of awesome options and a really, really cool game style that I really enjoy. Yeah. At least in the one time we've played it.
The one time, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got Ashes. Looking forward to exploring that a whole lot more. And we also picked up
Dead of Winter.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We've played it already before. We know it's probably not going to be the greatest 2-player game. Yeah. But we like the crossroads mechanic in there.
Yeah.
And we don't have anything. Of course, we don't have anything like it because that's the only one. Yeah. So yeah, we were really interested to get that too.
And we're not even really into like zombie games at all, but the game is so much about, so little of it is actually about the zombies that it's okay that it's a zombie game. Yeah. Yeah. It's more about
I wanted to wait for the space one though, but Justin didn't want to wait.
Well, it's taking forever for that to come out.
I know, but eventually it will be here.
Yeah. And when it gets here, we will probably get it too.
Right.
Awesome. So I was kind of expecting to go up there and come back with less games than we went up there with. And the exact opposite happened. We came back with more
games
than we went up with.
Yeah.
And I think in the entire trip, because we've been selling some games here and there, stuff like that.
In preparation for it, yeah.
I think the only thing we actually had to pay out of our pocket that wasn't paid for by gaming money was hotel and gas and food. Yeah. Everything else was covered by the auction winnings, the money that we'd saved up buying games, stuff like that, which was awesome. It was a fun experience. It's cool.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like, way more fun than I expected. I was really glad that we went.
Yeah.
Because it was the winter, and you're kind of not sure if you should plan on driving in the winter, because it is like 3.5 to 4 hours away. So.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't know how I'm going to feel about future ones. Now that that expectation of mine has switched when the next one comes up.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Because we had, like you said,
yeah.
You had expectations. I had no expectations. I wanted to go and see what it was all about.
Yeah.
And because I had no expectations whatsoever, it was extremely fun.
Yeah. I also had a really good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. So that was our big auction special. All right, so that is our auction special, podcast number 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you're listening to this on iTunes, you can always find us at
youtube.com/sweetheartsorrivals.
Right.
Yep.
And you can search us on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook and
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're not listening to this on iTunes, you can listen to it on iTunes.
If you want to. It's available now.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks for listening.
And we'll talk at you later.
Laters.
Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals, podcast number 8.
Number 8!
I'm Charlotte.
I'm Justin.
And we're also doing this as, I think Kaylee's butthole just got on camera.
Thanks, Kales. Kaylee butthole. There's Kaylee's butthole. Bye-bye. There we go.
Take 3.